Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Samantha Leighanne and I talk about books. Today we're doing something a little bit different and I haven't actually done one of these before, but I see these videos all the time and I think that this is kind of on par with the horror TBR video that I did sometime last year. I want to say maybe it was the year before that. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check. Basically today we are just going to be talking about some of the books that I have on my Kindle, which I just have like the basic ass Kindle. Like I didn't get anything fancy because I just wanted it to be able to read. They were doing like get it for like 49 bucks or something like that a couple years ago maybe. And I thought that it was a good alternative because I do have a Nook tablet as well. But with that one, it's like a little bit harder to read in the sun and those types of things. And I can load the Kindle app onto the tablet too. So one of the things that I've been trying to do more of lately is like read my own books, right? And so I've actually been doing a pretty good job of that. I'm gradually making my way through this craziness that is the shelf behind me. So that's pretty nice. But another thing that I really need to start doing is like actually reading the ebooks that I have, because I have like a fair amount. And so I've really been focusing on the physical books lately. In addition to the fact that I am currently furloughed from work. And so the library is obviously your friend, but there are several things that I would want to read that the library doesn't have. And so I did discover Kindle Unlimited, which for Audible members, which I'm not getting rid of my Audible membership because I really enjoy audiobooks as well. They're doing like a 2-month free trial of Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, you know what? If there's no harm in it, if I can get it for free for 2 months, hey, may as well, right? So we're gonna specifically talk about horror books today that I own on my Kindle that I haven't read, in addition to some of the things that I have found on Kindle Unlimited. I'm actually gonna use my tablet instead of the black and white one, just, you'll be able to see the covers a little bit clearer and that type of thing. So it's kind of funny because you can tell, like scrolling through my Kindle library, like you can tell precisely when I started like focusing more on horror. It's kind of funny. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the Southern Novels by Robert McCammon. I haven't read anything by Robert McCammon, but one of the books that's listed in this, so this is actually a collection of 4 of his books, and it's Boy's Life, Mystery Walk, Gone South, and Usher's Passing. I honestly couldn't tell you anything about any of these books as far as plot goes, but I know that people talk about Boy's Life so much and how much they love it. So that was one of the reasons I think I got it when it was like $3.99. I want to say that it's still on sale in the store now. I may or may not be right on that, but I saw the opportunity to grab all of them at once. So I figured, hey, why not? So another book that I have seen a lot about in the horror community that people have said is really good, that has really creeped them out, is actually Pen Pal. I don't actually know what the plot of this is about, if I'm being completely honest. This book is dedicated to his mother. So the next book that I'm going to talk about is A God in the Shed by J.F. DeBow. The tagline says, "Move over, true detective. This is one of the most enthralling novels I've read in the last 10 years. So from what I'm able to gather, this is about a really small town somewhere, and the cemetery is like overrun with all these bodies because there's a serial killer that's been on the loose for a really long time that they haven't been able to catch. So it follows that. So that sounds like something that's right up my alley. I read The Grip of It, which is on my Kindle, which I really loved. So that I think is actually on my haunted house recommendations video. So that's a thing. Also, We Live Inside Our Eyes by Patrick Burke. Can you tell that I've given up holding this up? It's just kind of a pain in my ass. We Live Inside Our Eyes by Patrick Burke, which is, I believe, a short story collection, but all of them are kind of interwoven. And I've read the first 2, 1.5. I haven't finished the second one yet. So that's actually currently what I'm reading now, because I'm trying to read that so that I can also get to my next thing that I'm getting from NetGalley, which I'll go ahead and talk about now. The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. You have a fucking tablet in your hand, dumbass. Like, I could just look. Yes, by Stephen Graham Jones. And this is something, if I'm being totally honest, once again, I do not recall. The creeping horror of Paul Tremblay meets Tommy Orange's There in a dark novel of revenge, cultural identity, and the cost of breaking from tradition in this latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Graham Jones. I've never read anything by Stephen Graham Jones. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he's been on my to-read authors for forever. But the advanced praise that I'm seeing for this book is so good, so I'm really excited to get to that one. Can we just take a second and talk about how shitty the Goodreads search engine is? Like, no, that's not even close to what I'm actually typing right now. Like, can you fucking get it together, please? Another book that I have seen such amazing things about is Coyote Song. This is his second novel, Ghosts and Old Gods Guide the Hands of Those Caught Up in a Violent Struggle to Save the Soul of the American Southwest. A man tasked with shuttling children over the border believes the Virgin Mary is guiding him towards final justice. A woman offers colonizer blood to the mother of chaos. A boy joins corpse destroyers to seek vengeance for the death of his father. These stories intertwine with those of a vengeful spirit of a hungry creature to paint a timely, compelling, pulpy portrait of revenge, family, and hope. And I've seen amazing things about this book so far, so that's another one that I'm like real pumped about to actually get to read. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Pretty Mary's All in a Row. This is by Gwendolyn Keist, and I did read her Rust Maidens last year and really actually enjoyed that one a good deal. That was one of the books that I started reading while I was kind of in the middle of my reading slump. I really enjoy her writing style, and the backdrop of that book was just really good. Synopsis of this one: you'll find her on a lonely highway hitchhiking at midnight. She calls herself Rhea. I'm assuming that's Rhea. But everyone knows her by another name, Resurrection Mary. And when she's transported home each night to a decrepit mansion on a lane to nowhere, she's not alone. In the antique mirror, call her name 3 times and Bloody Mary will appear. Outside, wandering through a garden of poisonous flowers, is Mistress Mary, quite contrary, a nursery rhyme come to gruesome life. Downstairs is another, this is far too long for me to read, but it seems like all of these different Marys, so that like come out of like folklore and stuff. So that actually sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to that. The next one is Kill River. I saw a lot of people reading this not that long ago. I want to say it was like a book club of some kind, but I can't remember exactly who it was. So it seems to be like it's kind of a slasher film, but in book form, which I love a good slasher film every once in a while. You know, it's very like formulaic, but you know, people said it was fun. So another one that I have is Grind Your Bones to Dust. It doesn't have a ton of ratings, but the ratings that I'm seeing are from people that I actually really trust their opinions, and it's like 5 stars. So that is actually great. Love that. Apparently it's told in 4 parts. I don't know exactly what the plot is about. Mass murder leaves the sanctity of his mountain home to pursue a long lost love. I don't know, I can't really glean what it's gonna be about just based on the thing, but the reviews are high, like, so I'm kind of excited about that. So then what have I found on Kindle Unlimited that I'm really excited about? Let's talk about that. The first is we're going to talk about an author versus, you know, the actual each individual work. So I've read a couple of books by Anya Alborn. Female written horror, love that. One of my favorite books that I love to recommend is The Devil Crept In, and I've read that one. I read Within These Walls, and then I also read Call Upon Thee. And she's got several other books on Kindle Unlimited, which she has Seed, If You See Her, The Bird Eater, and The Neighbors. So I'm actually really looking forward to those because I just in general really love her writing. So this is another one that I've seen a lot. So I also found The Pale White on Kindle Unlimited, which are it's about 3 girls who are being held against their will at a house for sex trafficking. Again, don't have very many reviews on Goodreads, but people that I very much trust have rated it 4 and 5 stars. So okay. Yeah, the reviews on this are like really high. Again, like people that I really trust. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, all right. I see you. One of the other things that I'm really enjoying about Kindle Unlimited is there are a lot of things on there that are like more indie published authors. And I think that gives them a really good opportunity to get their work out there and get their work seen. I really feel like horror is a genre that's really underrepresented in big presses anyway. Next is Something Barred and Something Blood-Soaked by Krista Carmen, which is, again, female written horror, again, an indie press, and it is a short story collection. Y'all know I love my short stories. So it has decently high reviews. One of the descriptions in a story that I'm actually looking at is talking about a Evil Dead chainsaw wielding superfan or something, which Evil Dead is probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I'm here for that. But yeah, I really like the cover of this one too, honestly. Another one that is on Kindle Unlimited is The Reddening by Adam Neville. This is the same author who wrote The Ritual, which I haven't read yet, but I did watch the film and I actually did enjoy the film because it's like very folktale-y. In addition to, I did read one of his other books, No One Gets Out Alive, which was a tome, I'm here to tell you, and it suffered from some pacing stuff, but it wasn't bad. I have another one of his books, I think The House of Small Shadows. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So, and this is a gripping folk horror thriller. So I'm kind of excited to get to that one. And I think, I'm actually almost positive that I'll have a physical copy of that one from Jake. I'm pretty sure. I might not get to that on Kindle Unlimited, but now you know it is on Kindle Unlimited if you wanted to look. Another book that I have on here is another Stephen Graham Jones book, which is The Last Final Girl, which is apparently a love letter to the slasher genre. So that should be interesting. It's got mixed reviews on Goodreads. It's like some people are like, this was disappointing, and some people are like, oh, this was just okay. Yeah, that will be interesting, I guess. I think it's fairly short. So, and the last one that I'm going to talk about on Kindle Unlimited is I Am Not Your Final Girl by Claire Holland. This is actually a poetry collection, and those of you that know me know that I don't read a ton of poetry. It's just not been something that I love, and some of the poetry collections that I have read have been just like very meh. I do have a certain number of poets that I do really enjoy. Andrea Gibson from Button Poetry is one that I absolutely love, as well as Neil Hilborn, who is also works with Button Poetry. But yeah, poetry has just never been something that I've read a ton of. So that being said, I saw this poetry collection and it's geared towards horror, which, hi, hello, who are you talking to, right? And it has really high reviews from a lot of people, again, that I really trust. And it's like this mixture of like horror and feminism, and it seems like it's gonna be really good. They're in some of the reviews that I read talking about how they're like very, very beautiful and very haunting, and you kind of have to like take a second and like really internalize it. Which I love writing like that. Really looking forward to reading that one. So those are some of the books that I have on my Kindle that I am really looking forward to getting to. Are there any other books on Kindle Unlimited that you've read that I didn't mention here, especially in the horror genre? Comment down below and let me know. I will say that I'm really just now starting to explore Kindle Unlimited because I did just start going through it yesterday. So that was just like precursor stuff that I was able to find. So I am really excited to read more and to see what else I can find on there as well. And then of course, just in general, if you have any like small press indie like Kindle books that you've read lately that you want to recommend to me down in the comments, that would also be amazing. If you don't want to comment, that's fine. You can also send me messages on Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram. All of that can be found in the down bar below. If this is your first time here, hi, hello, and welcome. If you like what you see and you want to see more, you can click thumbs up. You can hit subscribe if you haven't already. And you can also hit the little bell doodad to be notified whenever I upload videos. I can't promise that this type of video will be something that I will do very often, just because I don't tend to buy very many books. I'm trying to work through what I have, as we've already talked about. But you know, if you're interested, I did just focus on horror with Kindle today. So if you are interested in knowing about maybe some other types of books that I have on my Kindle, comment down below. Let me know if that's something that you guys would want to see or not. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.